Welcome back to Grammar Grade 7. This is Unit 2, Lesson 8. You already know that a noun names a person, place, thing, or idea. Today, we're going to sort nouns into 3 useful families. Some nouns you can see, hear, or touch. Some name ideas you can only think about. And some scoop up a whole group and give it a single name. By the end, you'll be able to spot all 3 with confidence. Let's dive in. Every noun still does the same basic job. It names something. But grammarians like to sort nouns into 3 families based on what kind of thing they name. The first family is concrete, the nouns you can sense. The second is abstract, the nouns you can only think about. And the third is collective, where one word names a whole group. Same job, naming, but 3 different flavors. Let's meet them one at a time. Let's start with concrete nouns. A concrete noun names something you can perceive with one of your 5 senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, or smell. Look at these: thunder, lemon, violin, sidewalk. You can hear thunder, taste a lemon, see a violin, and touch a sidewalk. Here are 2 more in action. A puppy you can pet, and an ocean you can hear roaring. If one of your senses can catch it, the noun is concrete. Now the opposite kind, abstract nouns. An abstract noun names something that is real but cannot be sensed, an idea, a quality, or a feeling. Think of freedom, honesty, patience, and wisdom. You can't hold patience in your hand or hear wisdom the way you hear thunder, yet they are absolutely real. Feelings belong here too, like fear or joy. So if you can only think about it, never touch it, the noun is abstract. Let's put all of this side by side. Picture 3 columns. In the concrete column, go words like cactus and trumpet, because a sense can catch them. In the abstract column, go words like loyalty and hunger, because you can only think them. And in the collective column, go words like swarm and choir, because each one names a group. When you meet any noun, just ask 3 quick questions. Can I sense it? Can I only think it? Or does it name a whole group? The third family is the most surprising, collective nouns. A collective noun uses a single word to name a whole group of members. Take the word swarm. It looks like one thing, but a swarm is really many bees buzzing together. English is full of these: herd, audience, panel, flock, and crew. Each one is singular in form, just one word, yet plural in meaning, because a group is hiding inside it. Now here is the trickiest and most useful thing about collective nouns. Because a collective noun can feel singular or plural, the verb has to match what the group is doing. When the whole group acts together as a single unit, treat the noun as singular and use a singular verb. The flock flies south together. The birds move as one, so the verb is flies. But when the members act separately, on their own, treat the noun as plural and use a plural verb. The flock fight over the seeds. Here, the birds are each doing their own thing, so the verb becomes fight. Same noun, 2 different verbs, decided entirely by how the group is behaving. Let's boil the whole lesson down to a quick check. For any noun, run 3 questions in order. 1. Can a sense catch it? If so, it's concrete. 2. Can only your mind hold it? If so, it's abstract. 3. Does one word cover many members? If so, it's collective. And don't forget the bonus rule. A collective noun's verb follows whatever the group is doing. Ready to practice a few together? In this first set, decide which family each noun belongs to: concrete, abstract, or collective. Pause the video and try each one before I reveal the answer. Moonlight. Which family? You can actually see moonlight glowing on the ground, so one of your senses catches it. That makes it concrete. So the answer is concrete. Generosity. Can you touch generosity or hear it? No. It's a quality you can only think about, a way of being kind. That makes it abstract. So the answer is abstract. Orchestra. Notice that a single word covers dozens of musicians playing together. One word, a whole group. That makes it collective. So the answer is collective. Now let's use that bonus rule. Each sentence has a collective noun. Decide whether it should take the singular verb or the plural verb, based on whether the group acts as one or as separate members. Pause and choose before I answer. The whole crew rows toward the finish line together. Are the members acting as one or separately? The word together tells you they move as a single unit, so the noun is singular here, and it takes the singular verb rows. So the answer is rows. The panel disagree about the final score among themselves. The phrase among themselves is the clue. The members are acting individually, each with a different opinion. That makes the noun plural, so it takes the plural verb disagree. So the answer is disagree. The audience rises to its feet at the final note. Here, the whole crowd moves at the same moment as one body. And notice the clue. It's feet, a singular word. So the noun is singular and takes the singular verb rises. So the answer is rises. Let's gather up what we learned. Nouns come in 3 families. Concrete nouns name whatever your 5 senses can catch, like thunder or a violin. Abstract nouns name ideas, qualities, and feelings you can only think about, like freedom or patience. And collective nouns give one name to a whole group, like a swarm or an orchestra. Remember the bonus rule for collective nouns? When the group acts as one, use a singular verb. And when the members act on their own, use a plural verb. Great work today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.